Welcome to This Week in East Brunswick. Today we have Mayor David Stahl's State of the Township address from Monday night's council meeting as he lays out the plans for 2015. Then we check out a special 3D printing program at the East Brunswick Public Library. And the East Brunswick Jewish Center held an art exhibit for local artist Don Bloom. Then we stopped by Tuscana Salon, where a fundraiser was held for a local 9-year-old boy battling a rare form of cancer. So stay with us. This Week in East Brunswick starts now.
Good evening, and thank you, Council President, members of the Township Council, and my fellow residents. I'm pleased to report that the state of the Township is one that remains strong and is at the cusp of even better times. We have worked extremely hard as a community over the past 6 years to weather the financial storm of declining real estate values, declining municipal revenues, declining state aid, and increased costs. Working with the Township Council, I've instituted austere economic policies when I first became the mayor. This policy allowed East Brunswick to be financially responsible during these difficult times. We dramatically reduced our spending while continuing to invest our community by making prudent investments in our infrastructure. The Township's economic strength can easily be measured by our excellent bond rating, which allows us to borrow money at well under 1%. Our debt remains well managed so as not to burden future generations. While we suffered the burden of tax appeals like so many municipalities in New Jersey, the Township did not have to resort to borrow money to offset those losses as many other towns have done. We paid as we went along. And now as we turn to 2015, our future looks even brighter because of that hard work. We've hired new employees in late 2014 to allow even better service to our residents. This year, the goal of my administration will be focused on improvements to our infrastructure. The road pavement program will be funded as well as seeing improvements on Fresh Ponds Road. Proposals will be presented to the Township Council on a water tank asset management program for our existing water tanks to ensure a reliable plan to maintain those structures in the future. We will explore the viability of building a new water tank west of the Turnpike to provide better service to that area. Work will commence in 2015 on the replacement of many of the water lines in the Lawrence Brook area. And speaking of the water utility, the Township will end its mass medication of the public by ending the use of fluoride in our water system. I've read much data on the pros and cons of putting fluoride in our water system. When fluoride was first introduced, it was not easy for individuals to receive fluoride any other way. Today, there's many other options. In addition, so many people are choosing to drink from bottled water rather than tap water. I just believe it's the time to end this, and this is something that will be done very shortly. Tonight, the Township Council will vote on an important improvement to Crystal Springs with respect to the new splash park for the young children who love to use the facility while we work on a more affordable building to construct in 2016. I urge the Council to support this initiative this evening. 2015 will see the remediation of Forder Farm and the completion by our Planning and Engineering Department of the re-examination of our master plan, which will further ease the way for new businesses to move into East Brunswick. Finally, we ramp up the redevelopment process this year as the Planning Board will have a resolution this Wednesday to hire a planner with respect to the investigation process that the Planning Board must perform. This redevelopment process will provide the basis for those private property owners in the Route 18 corridor to make investments in their property that have been lacking to date and have resulted in the vacancies we see today. And speaking of redevelopment, I'm pleased to report that East Brunswick real estate market seems to have turned the corner from the downtrend that was seen throughout the United States over the past years. Permit fees collected by our construction department grew by over 30% in 2014. And our tax base has not only stopped declining, it actually improved slightly for 2015. In summary, I'm very excited about this year and the many initiatives I've outlined tonight, and I look forward to working with the Township Council on them. As I look back on 2014, I'm grateful for the dedicated men and women who work for the Township. They continue to work as a team to ensure that we provide the best possible services for our residents. And here are just a few highlights for 2014. The library has continued to evolve from more than just a traditional library thanks to the library leadership and the Friends of the Library. The operating budget that I'll be proposing to Council later in the spring will include additional funding that has allowed the library to reopen on Wednesday nights, very popular with our residents. Our Information Technology Department, led by Chris Hyde and his staff, first I'd point out, if you recall, Council, this is a joint venture between the library and municipality, as we both look to save money. A lot of upgrades were made to software and hardware in 2014, and I'll be bringing to the Council, when I present my capital budget next week, some other initiatives for our IT department. Department of Aging, this year marks the 40th anniversary of them providing services to our residents. And administration's in discussions with Rachel Steinberg, the division's director, to expand the services we offer our seniors. Again, we'll be bringing a proposal to the council in the near future on that initiative. Public Works, which has been very busy recently, along with Mike Reisner's department in Parks and Recreation. Dan Lossick and his staff continue to improve operational practices by being innovative, resulting in many cost savings. The Township's roll-off program at the recycling center, if you recall, council, you bought the roll-offs. That has not only resulted in direct savings in 2014, but we had the opportunity to bring in additional revenues for the recyclables that were sold from those collection of recyclables at the center. Many people may have seen recently some white striping along the streets as we drive around town. That's actually coming from our brining equipment that this council authorized the purchase of late last year. And that brine solution has been very effective in being proactive as we face the storms, even the ice storms of this evening. Parks and Recreation had its Crystal Springs Slide Tower completed in 2014. And then last year was also the highest revenue that Crystal Springs has had since it's been open. Kudos also goes out to Mike and his department, as the entire Recs and Parks Recreation Department had their highest revenues again throughout the entire department. Last year we held our first annual East Brunswick Community Day, which was a major success, as was the return of the July 4th fireworks. With the council's blessing, when we do our budget, both will be back in 2015. Public safety, read the newspaper, events throughout this country have made being a police officer more burdensome these days, and my compliments go to Deputy Chief Krause and his staff, who continue to provide professional and dedicated service to our residents. I'd also like to point out to our residents an additional police officer was hired late in 2014. With respect to our water and sewer utility, East Brunswick continues to provide one of the lowest water rates in the area. And I would point out, as we get many notices with the particularly cold winter, we've had a number of water main breaks. And I believe even this afternoon, Mr. White forwarded to the Township Council a picture of our hard-working water utility crews working in the dead of the night, down in a hole without gloves, working nonstop to make sure that our water lines get repaired. And kudos go to all the members of the Water and Sewer Department for working so diligently around the clock. In conclusion, 2014 was a great year for the Township, and I believe that 2015 will be even brighter. I want to thank the Township residents for their support throughout the year. You continue to provide valuable insights. And again, thanks to our municipal employees who work so hard each and every day to ensure that East Brunswick is a great place to raise our families. I'd also like to thank our volunteer firefighters and emergency squad members who continue to give up their time to protect us. Lastly, and most importantly for me, I'd like to thank the men and women of our armed services who protect us in these times that are ever increasingly dangerous around the globe. I wish everyone the best for 2015. Thank you, Council President.
Today we had a basic discussion on 3D printing and the future of how printing is going to change and revolutionize the notion of how we manufacture and make things. It's going to move from sort of the post-industrial era of buying things at a store to now you are now designing, making, and fabricating your own thing right in your home.
3D printing is basically known as an additive manufacturing process, and you're taking an idea in the computer, and this microphone, for instance, if this was in the computer screen, the machine will start slicing it from the bottom up and creating different slices, like cutting a deli meat at the deli. And it's stacking them all back together and duplicating that out of plastic or metal or ceramic, whatever medium you're choosing for your 3D print. And it's just starting at the bottom, working one layer at a time, binding these different layers together. And in the end, you have your finished item.
At the moment, most of 3D printing is happening on an academic level, where it's testing things and testing the notions or applications of how things can be done or applied. And in the practicing world, we're seeing it applied to how jewelry is made. We're seeing it in automotive parts. We're seeing it in industrial design, and we're beginning to see it affect even architecture a little bit. So it's infiltrating all the various different professions, and the form or the way that the 3D printer works is also beginning to influence how things are put together or made.
I think the things that they're doing in medical, organ creation, and they're actually exploring 3D printing organs, functional organs. That's miraculous. And circuitry is another big one that we're going to be seeing in the next few years, being able to 3D print electrical circuit boards.
But most importantly, it's the idea of everybody has their own computer, the digital world attached to where technologies that have existed for quite some time are changing and revolutionizing everything. So the passion comes from being kind of beat over the head with it and either adapt or you're out.
Well, I was studying architecture at Brookdale Community College and was introduced through the CAD program to the technology. And between drafting and just wanting to create my own ideas and having access to a 3D printer at Brookdale, it allowed me to start exploring the possibilities that this technology lends to us.
So the technology is coming down so fast in terms of affordability that I would say to people, again, if you're practicing with software and you're understanding what's possible, you can go to YouTube as a forum to learn how to do various different things through their tutorials that people just post for free. So it's a matter of years, things are going to be even cheaper and the technology is going to advance even further. So it's just kind of showing an interest and paying attention. Where, in a sense, it's been around for a while, and in a sense, we're at the ground floor.
Yeah, first there's plenty of free software you can go download. It's free from the company. It's not like you have to worry about doing anything wrong. SketchUp, Blender is another one, and you could download and have basically all the basic tools you need to make most objects you probably would imagine. Some of the more complex geometries require some more advanced software, but SketchUp could handle the gamut of most things.
SketchUp was the one that we were introducing earlier. Anyone can download SketchUp for free. The free version is exactly the same as the pay version. The pay version, I think, is like $500. The only difference between them are how you can attach plugins, which are outside softwares that are now attached to it.
I do a lot of jewelry, and I also do a lot of mechanical items. I use a lot of what they call SLS, which is basically selective laser sintered nylon plastic. It's basically a bed of powder, and a laser will bind it all together. It depends really what the client wants and what the part needs to do in the end. So for mechanical parts, I might choose a stainless steel if it needs to be stronger. Again, that uses a similar process of selective laser sintering. But it depends. Some of the jewelry, I'll go with silvers. You could do golds, platinums are even possible. It really depends on the necessity of the project and what the piece is required to do. Well, I deal with a whole array of clients. Sometimes they just have an idea and it's not even on paper yet. Sometimes someone might have a simple sketch. Sometimes they might have drafted in dimension drawings that are very elaborate. And it's just, it varies. The difficulty may vary and the time you put into development may vary, but you could always take an idea and get it into a 3D model one way or another. So if I want high resolution, I'll use Shapeways, for instance, as a service company, and they have equipment that has resolution that I would never touch with a desktop printer. So it allows me to make products that are more tactile in terms of what we're used to in plastic injection molding process. You're used to a certain kind of smoothness, a certain resolution or finish. Their equipment allows me to achieve that more so than some of the desktop versions.
But if you learn how to model, and then there are companies like Shapeways, which Jeff mentioned earlier, which are online. You can upload once you learn what their format is, you can upload your models to them, and they will make it for you. But in terms of making things, you can make anything.
3D modeling can require some patience sometimes, and it's a little bit of a learning curve. But after you get familiar and comfortable with some of the basic tools, you'd be really amazed on how quick you'll start developing ideas, and the complexity will just keep getting greater and greater as you just get some practice in.
The important thing, I think, about any and all of this is to have an open mind and to have a critical mind. You know, if somebody was asking, well, does this make your life better? Well, it's happening regardless, so you have to find the positives and the negatives. It's important to know both and how they begin to sort of affect and sort of build the world that you are familiar with into the world that you are going to move into. It's going to happen regardless. And 3D printing may morph into something else. There may be something that comes out or something that's available that we haven't seen yet, and technology is going to continue to evolve that, and affordability is going to continue to put it in the hands of everyone.
There's the East Brunswick Jewish Center, of which I've been a member for 47 years, since moving to town. And this is a one-man exhibit, the third that they've had in this new gallery. which they fixed up nicely. And I'm very glad to be here with numerous examples of my work in various media. They're from various periods, they're from various approaches. For example, the one right here is based on a map of the world. I call it map art. I had hoped to become a catchy phrase like op and pop, but it hasn't, but I use it anyway.
Today we have Don Bloom's art, who is being actually associated with EBTV for many years. He used to do the covers of our monthly newsletter, The Recorder, and he always had very lively sketches of featuring whatever the holiday may have been at the time, or seasonal pictures, and I always loved his work. I thought that they were like simply linear sketches, but they expressed the move and the mood of the time. So when we started looking for a new show, I thought of him right away.
This is another one of my map series. When I do these, I'm only concerned with the shape of the map. And there were pop artists who used maps in their work, like Jasper Johns, particularly Larry Rivers. Their approach is much different. This is sort of an abstract impressionist version of a map. This is one of the recent ones from the Dexter Road series. This was shown at the South Brunswick Town Hall for a few months recently. Here's the only example of the Holocaust series that I have here. And it's a shape that I particularly like working in, diamond. Many of my oils are done in the diamond shape. This is the only one of the 108 works in the two series that I used a diamond as the format.
So we have here an opening of Don Bloom's show, and this is a part of a continuing effort of the synagogue to revitalize the synagogue. We're bringing art in, and we created this art space, this art hallway, gallery, so that when people come in here, it gives them a chance to not only see some beauty, but also to reflect on themes that have to do with life in general and their experience as human beings, sometimes Jewish, but all the time meaningful and purposeful in terms of understanding about their connection to God and spirituality in the world.
So I've done many versions of this particular motif, and an oil version of this, the largest one and the first one I ever did, was in the Whitney Annual in 1960. But there have been many variations in different media of this deli subject. This again is watercolor ink and a little, I don't know if I used gouache in this. I guess I didn't. I usually do, but I guess I didn't.
It just used to be a space where utilitarian, where people would go from one end of the building to the other, until these particular people had a vision of why not create a gallery here. And I think they actually put a lot of work into transforming the space with painting and floors and all that, volunteering their time. And now we hope to have shows every so often to involve local people, local artists, and that's the vision.
It was very dark. The hallway was dark colors. The walls had nothing on them except, I guess, some old posters of activities we might have had in 2009 and so on. So it was, and this is the main hallway to get to the office and the rabbi's office. So it becomes a very important focal point for people who are first-time visitors to the temple. The idea was Eric's to pick on something in the temple that we would like to beautify, and we got a committee together, evaluated what to do, changed the floor, changed the wall coloring, changed the window decorations, and at that point, my husband said, hey, why don't we put up railings so that we could put artwork on the walls.
We wanted to do something that was that all the members could actually see and enjoy and be part of. And so that's what this center is about. And Don Bloom, whose exhibit is here for the next month or so, he's really a treasure of East Brunswick Jewish Center.
I think there are two things the synagogue tries to do. One is try to engage people and build community, and the other is trying to engage people and uplift them and make them reflect on what life is. This is just, it's a kickoff for us, a chance people to come in and, to greet them, to have the artist done who are going to explain things, and then to begin a process the next few months to have it here and people reflect on it. One of the things I always appreciate about art is that you look at it and then you look at it in a different light, sometimes in evening versus during daylight. Sometimes when your mood changes and what you experience, you see something different in it. So over the next few months of having this art here, it gives me a chance to reflect on that and to see people reflect on the art and their experience in a different light.
Hi, this is Alicia Joy Bloom with EBTV. Today we are outside of Tuscana Salon, located in East Brunswick, New Jersey, where a cut-a-thon is being held for a local community boy, Jack Mix, and a fundraiser called Back Jack. Jack Mix is a 9-year-old boy suffering from a rare form of cancer called rhabdosarcoma. And we have all come together as a community to raise funds for this very special brave warrior and his family. Why don't we go inside and check out what's going on today? We'd like to thank you for holding this very special event for Jack Mix. What brought you to do this for the community today?
I had heard about Jack from a neighbor of mine and from a friend of mine, and I reached out to the Mix family because they're part of our community, and I just felt that that's what community does. We help each other, and it's been such a warm experience just meeting these people. Tina Mix is an unbelievable woman. We've been in touch every day since we started planning this whole thing.
Why don't you tell us some of the services that you are offering today that are helping the family out?
Okay, we are offering $25 adult haircuts, $15 children's haircuts, $10 manicures, $5 eyebrow and lip waxes. We have food we're offering. We have so many great baskets that were donated from businesses in the community. We have a chair masseuse downstairs for no fee, just a donation. And I just couldn't be happier. I couldn't be happier with the results today. It's a packed house. We have Olaf here. We have Elsa in the back from Frozen doing face painting and Mickey Mouse. The whole Mix family's here, my family, and we just have so much support from the community.
I am here with the warrior and the star of today's cut-a-thon, Jack Mix. Jack, do you have anything you would like to say to the East Brunswick community?
Well, when I was little, I never knew that something like this would happen to me.
And how do you feel about it now?
I feel that everyone thinks I'll feel better soon.
You will get better soon, and isn't it great that everybody is here for you, supporting you, right?
Of course it is, and I'm having a great time.
You're having a great time? Well, we're all having a great time doing this for you. So would you like to say thank you to the whole East Brunswick community?
Yes, thank you, community.
What a great day this is today, isn't it, Jimmy?
Yes, I'm not normally one to hang out at a hair salon, but I find myself having an enjoyable time today with all the ladies here. It's a great event, a great time. Things for the kids are going on. It's been great.
Yeah, they really pulled it together great, didn't they? How do you feel about how the community keeps coming together for your son, who is a wonderful little warrior?
Well, thank you. I agree with you, and I appreciate that. And it's been between the events that have gone on, the things that people have done for us, individually as groups and stuff like that. It's overwhelming at times, but again, it just shows you that we live in a true community with people pulling together, helping people out. Rallying around a family, it's been terrific.
Well, we're really glad that the East Brunswick community has really pulled together and supported you guys. Is there anything you'd like to say to anyone in particular, or anything special that you would like to ask, or
Well, to all the people here, to all the people that participated in the spaghetti dinner that they had the other night over at the VFW Hall, the ladies at the PTA, all the separate groups, Pink and Bloom, Hair Salon, I mean, all the different people. And I know I'm forgetting some, so please don't get offended. It's there's a lot of people that have done a lot of things. And I just, from the bottom of my heart, from my family and myself, I thank everybody.
May you forgetting what goes on be the least of your worries today, because we're all here to support back Jack, and he is getting through with flying colors, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it.
So, Lily and Jillian, what brings you here today to the Back Jack Cut-a-thon fundraiser?
Well, we're Girl Scouts, and Jack's our friend, so we decided that we would be helping out help out with like stuff, whatever they need us to do.
That's great. And you're doing the same thing? What have you done to help out?
We're supporting him, and we're like helping out, like telling that there's face painting. Elsa's here, and like Mickey and Olaf is here for like the kids and all.
Very great. Is that part of what you do as part of the Girl Scouts? Is this part of like your badge, like you have to earn a badge or something?
No, but a part of Girl Scouts is just helping out around your town and doing nice things for your community.
What's your favorite part of this day today?
Seeing Jack. It's fun just helping like people and helping Jack. And Jack is really fun to be around. He was in our class. He's our classmate.
That's fantastic. Well, I'm sure Jack appreciates all the love you give him and support. Thank you, girls. And here's another great thing going on at the salon today. We are sitting here with Elsa from Frozen, and she's doing fantastic face painting on this beautiful little girl. Elsa, where did you come from?
From Frozen, from the town Frozen, from Creative Entertainment.
Thank you so much, Elsa. And where is Creative Entertainment located?
Out of East Brunswick. We do costume characters, princesses, birthday parties, clowns, face painting, and balloons.
Yeah. You're a full service for parties, aren't you?
Yes.
And today brings you here because?
My girlfriend owns a salon, and I'm from the area. I'm from the town. I have a 10-year-old, and it's just nice seeing the community coming together for this family, for this boy. It's a great cause, and I always think that, community should stick together.
Can you tell us that we could expect more of this in the future on behalf of Pink and Bloom and Tuscana Salon?
This is one of the best things we've ever done, and I do see us reaching out and doing a lot more of this kind of thing, whether it's more in the future to help the mixed family or other community people. Alicia from Pink and Bloom and I partner a lot together, and it just makes things work better. We all come together as a team. And you can expect to see more things in the future.
You're also part of the board of Pink and Bloom, am I correct?
Yes, I am part of Pink and Bloom's board, so I help them with numerous fundraising events, and most of us are healthy, and we need to help and reach out to people who need us, and that's what Pink and Bloom does. That's what we like to do.
Tracy from Tuscana Salon has something that she'd like to talk to you about. Tracy?
I would like to present to your family, on behalf of Tuscana Salon, a gift certificate for 1 year's worth of hair services for the whole family.
Oh my goodness. Thanks, Trace.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tracy, that's fantastic. There you go.
That'll take a little more of a burden off of her.
Absolutely. That's so generous. Thank you so much.
Hey, all you out there.
There, Jack. Say thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
We're very glad to do this for you. Thank you, everyone, for checking us out today at Tuscana Salon, EBTV, Pink and Bloom Foundation. We'll see you soon. Thanks a lot.